Hello, hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Begoña, how are you?
Nervous. It's the first time I do something like this.
Well, congratulations for being the first time of doing this. I think it's a fantastic moment to experience a reading, especially with Little Women. That is a piece of cake, we could say. So thank you for being here, first of all. And thank you also for supporting me in this project with your space, Paseos, here in San Lorenzo del Escorial. So first of all, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, talk about you and your projects.
Okay, so my name is Begonia, and I'm very grateful that you came to my place one day and offered this project because I think it's very beautiful and very useful at the same time. And it can be very funny, so it has a lot of ingredients that I love. I have a space here in San Lorenzo del Escorial where I offer psychotherapy, body psychotherapy, and psychoastrology, and therapeutic theater, and meditation and mindfulness and art therapy and every kind of thing that has to do with healing in different ways, with the healing of the mind and the soul and the spirit, and to have a healthy body. And that's what I do.
It sounds fantastic to me. And congratulations for having that space, because it's not easy to run a business like that these days, but I think they are very needed. And I know that you are preparing also people to go to Santiago's Way, and you are coaching people in a way to do this this pilgrimage with also the knowledge of astrology.
Yeah, we also have projects outside this space, and we do retreats all over Spain in different places. And also, this is the first time we're going to do the Camino de Santiago with the reading of your natal chart with astrology, the stars guiding your way, your path, also in a healing way, meditating way. So this is a new experience for me. I'm also a bit nervous, never done it before. Let's see how it works. But so far, so good. We already have a lot of people in the group. Actually, we only have 2 places left. And yeah, exciting.
Fantastic. I love it. And I have to say that everything fits. You know, my project, when I started thinking about this, suddenly I realized that the family march means also to be in movement. March is about walking. It's the marchar, it's caminar. And also it's interesting that it's about marching, walking with certain destiny as well. So we are not backgrounds. You know, backgrounds are people that are moving and they don't know where they go. But when you know your destiny, or you are being guided, you know that you could have the destiny, you know, there in front of your eyes. So I suddenly realized that you had a lot of things in common with my project after actually contacting you. When I started to see your website, I saw that you were doing also this approach to the 4th elements. And studying Little Women, I realized that everything is about the 4 elements. The 4 girls are 4 elements. Joe is fire, Meg is earth, Beth is air, Amy is water, the mother is the ether that contains the 4th of them. And then we have the Ant March, who I think is a very interesting element as well, that provides everyone with her money and with her advices that are not very welcome, because she represents a little bit the Saturn character that puts limits and builds structures. And so in that sense, I love being in your space, because I feel like there is some kind of feeling at home, we could say. So thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you for finding all these symbolisms and relations between the things that you do and I do. I find that very, very clever, and you have to feel it inside to realize it. Thanks.
Yeah, and it's amazing that suddenly everything clicks, and it's not because of me. You know, it's thanks to the, you know, to the ether. I don't know how to say it. To the divine fortune, we could say. And by the way, today is 9:30. Ninth, today's 9th of September is, I know you are Virgo because you told me once, and we are celebrating in San Lorenzo de Escorial La Virgen de Gracia. And I always have celebrated somehow this Virgin, not because I'm only with her in the name, but because the grace to me is something that I have always liked to be open to somehow. And you are Virgo yourself. We are celebrating el periodo de la Virgen, no? The Virgo's time. And so I hope and I wish you the best in all your projects. And thank you also for your time, because we are going to read a beautiful spin where you are going to be playing Beth this time and a little bit of the narrator. So shall we start?
Sure, let's go for it.
Let's start. Exterior orchid house, spring, night, with a lot of wind. The trees blow in the wind with a sense of foreboding. Foreboding means misfortune. The moon hides in narrow clouds like an omen. An omen means presage. Presage, or if you want, you could say presagio. Right? Orchid house is dark. Orchid house is the name of the house where they live, except for Joe and Beth's windows, which glow. From inside comes feminine laughter. Interior, Joe and Beth's room, orchid house, night, wind. Beth is alert, holding a cup of broth, and broth is un caldo, a kind of a soup. She looks revived and a little hilarious. Joe has been amusing her with imitations. So Joe March, doing man with a cigar, thank you, bowing and letting her cigar, a carrot, fall from her mouth. Beth laughs.
Beth March, I feel stronger with you close by.
Joe March, old Miss Patpaw and I are going to get you well yet. And the cat is called like that, Miss Patpaw. Pat is a strike, a little thing that you do with, and paw is the hand of the cat. Reaching for the cat, Miss Patpaw resists with a hiss, and hiss is un bufido. Teeth bared es enseñando los dientes, and Joe clacks at her, scolding. Clacks is like reprimiéndola, and scolding like como no queriendo saber mucho de ella, ¿no? So Joe March la reprime diciendo, bad girl.
Beth March, if God wants me with him, there is none who will stop him.
Their laughter evaporates, because after these comments, there is some kind of seriousness now in the atmosphere. So Beth says,
I don't mind. I was never like the rest of you, making plans about the great things I'd do. I never saw myself as anything much. Not a great writer like you.
Joe March, oh Beth, I'm not a great writer.
Beth March, but you will be. She holds her hand tightly. Le coge la mano con mucha fuerza. Oh, Joe, I've missed you so. Her eyes travel around the room. Why does everyone want me to go away? I love being home. Then, puzzled. Puzzled means como las piezas de un puzzle que no encajan, confusa. But I don't know, like being left behind. Now I am the one going ahead.
Yes, well, Joe starts to protest, but Beth reassures her gently. Beth reassures her. Le está dando ahora, le asegura, ¿no? Le asegura las cosas, ¿no? Reassures is that. So Beth March says,
I am not afraid. I can be brave, like you. The only hard part now is leaving you all. I know that I shall be homesick for you, even in heaven. Homesick is like morriña in Gallego, when you feel sick from being away from home.
Exactly. Joe claps like this, claps that hand fiercely, fighting tears, like almost she's gonna cry, fighting tears. Joe March, I will not let you go. So it's a serious moment. And
The
then,
cat, the cat suddenly crouches, back up, looking fiercely at the window. She suddenly seems to be a wild creature. Joe looks at the window and glimpses some dark, heavy movement beyond the glass. Glimpses means that she sees, that she scopes, that she doesn't see very clearly. A presence out there.
yes, well done. Spot something out there that is not clear, but we know it's like a dark thing that is moving. And so the atmosphere is tense, we could say. There's a lot of wind out there, it's night, and they are talking about the inevitable thing that is going to happen. Joe March says, what is it, Mr. Patpo?
Wind moans against the pane, rattling it, making everything in the room seems to vibrate slightly. The cat purrs a low, strange noise. Jo makes herself go to the window and open it. The instant the window is open, Beth's cat leaps to the sill, and then onto the tree branch, and it's gone into the night. Jo closes the window and secures it. She turns to Beth. Beth is asleep, her hand tucked under her cheek. But as Jo looks at her, she realizes Beth is past asleep, past dreaming. Jo picks up Ben's delicate hand, and it's as light as paper. Beth is gone. Jo bows over her in grief. Fade out.
Very good. And from this last part, let's comment a little bit some of the words, and then later we comment the three expressions. But I'm going to explain rattling means to move noisily with a lot of noise. Let's comment also seal, which is this space outside the window where you can place pots or whatever. So it's a space outside the window. Then we have, for example, this other comparative expression sentence that you said before. It is as light as paper. I will highlight the comparative of equality here, as. So this is the end of this theme, Begonia. What do you feel? What kind of words and expressions have you learned? Give me just three.
Mm. I didn't know, for example, what foreboding meant. I still don't remember what you said it meant.
Misfortune.
Misfortune, exactly.
Yeah.
Foreboding, say misfortune. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what an omen was.
Mm-hmm.
That you said it was like a presage.
O presagio, sí. Something that is giving us the feeling that something bad is going to happen. Yes.
Hmm. What else did I learn? Like, for example, going to the last paragraph, I didn't know what a pain was, or I didn't know what a scene was.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was like this part of the window that is outside, and the seal, you said the place where, but also the window where you can put things, there's room for things to be put there. Those are basically the words that were more strange for me. I never heard them before. Mm.
And any word that you especially like?
Mhm. Yes, I like a lot the word puzzle. Um, Maybe because of the Rolling Stones song, the one for the devil, that
Yeah.
is just like always puzzled you, and I
Mhm.
think that was the first time I heard it.
Yes.
Like that you're confused, that you're like, like there's
Yeah.
some pieces of the puzzle that they don't fit.
They don't fit. Yeah.
And somehow I love pronouncing the word creature.
Creature, I also love that one.
Don't
Having
ask me.
creative creature, I love it. Yes, true. Because of the sound. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening in languages. This thing. Very musical as well.
And the name of the cat I also like Patpo.
Yeah, Miss Tadpole. Yeah.
I
And
like that. Yes.
yeah. So I'm going to ask you now about the scene itself and the characters. Can you tell me something that you have been able to see more clearly after the reading?
Mm. Well, for me, there's like two parts of the reading. Like the first one where Joe and Beth are kidding, and making a laugh, laughing, and then there's another part where they both go like more serious. As you said before, like talking about the elements, like Joe is the fire element and Beth is the water element. The
Beth,
fire is like
Beth is air. Beth is air.
is earth. Sorry. Um, like for the fire, it's always difficult to face these kind of moments because fire always want to be happy and they don't like these moments of grief, as they say at the end, like Joe bows over her in grief, like fire don't like grief.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very beautiful moment where fire surrenders, earth goes back to its nature, like with this window that opens and closes. It has a lot of meaning, like as if Beth's soul were going back to where it belongs.
Yeah.
Peeping through the window, yeah, to be air again, Very touching scene, very touching scene. I really liked it. Thank you for choosing it because it's very delicate and fragile, and at the same time, it has a lot of courage and strength. It's like Beth is getting the strength of March, like I'm not afraid, I can be brave like you, And Joe is getting this subtle energy of the air, like surrendering.
Exactly. And we also know that Beth is a musician. She loves playing the piano, and actually she is the one that receives the piano from the neighbor. This old who is the grandfather of Laurie, that gave her the present of a piano because belonged to one of her or a daughter that he had that passed away as well. So it's very interesting how Louisa May Alcott has played the elements perfectly. And then the novel, when you read the novel, if I have to say something to the people here and to you, is read the novel, because there you have a lot of details that can't be put into a movie. But the movies have done a great job, as this one, for example, this scene is from the 1994 movie with Winona Ryder playing the character of Rose. It's true that the movie and the script is following the characters that Louisa May Alcott built in the novel, of details. And so it's interesting to see how they have transcribed into a movie the language of a novel. And I love also comparing these things. That's why I usually say, read the novel, let's read the script, but then later, after doing this process, which is a digestion process, we really need to first read and learn from the novel so much and from the movies. But then later, my intention with the theater is English to theater. We will write our own script or not even write it, because maybe once we have incorporated the characters and we understand how they behave, what are their goals, and how they talk, and you build the character, you might be able to act without a script. If we know this, what is happening in a scene, if we know that more or less the structure of the scene, I know that you don't need to learn by heart the lines. Interact with me, you as a Beth or as a Joe, as whoever at the end you get the role in a very spontaneous way as well, because learning by heart is hard. I know it's very hard, and it's not necessary, especially in a second language.
That makes me feel better, because that was one of the things I was a bit scared of.
I
was
know.
like, I have my heart. Oh my God, where am I going to get the time from?
No, I only ask people to learn by heart poems. Okay. Elizabeth Jennings, for example, had a wonderful poem that I will maybe place in some place over here. It's called Absence, and that one is like a sonnet. And I usually say to people, yeah, lyrics, obviously songs or poems can be learned by heart because it's easy. They have music inside and rhymes, and that helps us to memorize. But when we are talking about a script and we are not professional actors, neither a professional director, I'm not a director, a theater director, I'm just a language coach. I think it's better that we understand the characters, we understand what's going on in the narration, and then try to do it in our own way, we could say.
That's much nicer, much more fun.
Yeah. And with less expectations, because, some people, especially mothers, come to me and say, because first of all, they believe that this is only for teenagers, and it's not. And also they believe this is only for women, and it's not. Please, men of the world that are listening to us, come and play some role, because we need Laurie, we need the grandfather, we need the father as well. We need the teacher.
Or we need you.
Yes. So it's like that. Is when they come, they ask me, oh, but when is this going to happen, and in which stage are you going to perform? And my answer usually is, first, let's start with having people in the class, at least, and then later, after they have been reading with me, learning the characters, watching the movies, understanding this project, then later, if everything goes well and if we want, we might act in front of an audience, but it's not our main goal. Yes. Because I think it's not about being a star. It's about lighting the star within.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's lit the fire inside and, connect with the elements that we have around. We don't need to go to the moon or to Hollywood to experience that.
We don't need to, no.
No. Exactly. We just need to make it real, connecting with people in inside place, or in a presential lesson, as you allow me to do in this space of yours. I think it's a fantastic way of learning together and improving English. But not only English, it's about human, it's about connecting, it's about maturing our view as well of literature, English culture. Well, in this case, American, because she's Luisa May Alcott is American. But yeah, this is about opening our heart to other cultures as well.
Very nice.
So this is it. Anything else you would like to say?
No, not really. I think maybe what, I don't know. For me, theater is also theater that I've done so far, which is like the therapeutic one. It's never been like this. It has a lot to do with an investigation within yourself of different characters that maybe you will never play in your real life, but that they are there and they are also you. And when you get into to understand the character and to really get into what it might be, he might or she might be feeling, I think that's precious. I think that's a way to empathy, a way to get to understand each other better. and that makes the way to connect with each other much easier. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like it.
Yeah, I love it, and it's true that it makes us more human. Today, and this I think that's the divine in us is um, that we connect with our humanity, with that creativity as well, like allowing us to connect, be fragile when we need to be fragile, but also strong when we need to be strong, and emotional when we need to get emotional, but also practical when we need to be practical because we are living in this matter, and this is something that in all ways, in every path we can feel because we are all living the same experience, which is being human in this world, and building your own projects is tough, and it's nice meeting you. It has gave me also hope, for seeing that there are other ways that you can actually take and continue doing. So thank you. I'll see you, Begonia, soon this afternoon. I'll see you later.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.